Hello everyone, welcome back. We are here, coming back with part 10 of What If Deku Had Venom. Now, where we last left off, Class 1A has gone into the sport festival. But before they got into the arena, Shoto Todoroki bumps into someone which is looking like this, and he called himself Oyama. Oyama, yes, his name is Oyama, as he talked a little bit with, Class 1A and especially Tanjiro and, Nezuko, and he sit with them and watch the sport festival, and after the sport festival done, this kid is basically Izuku in disguise. In the end, he, leave the sport festival and go back to, to UA to accomplish his plan was to blow up the building of UA. And after he done that, he makes sure that putting the bombs in a specific place to make the fire take the shape of Venom face, to make everyone know that he is the reason for this explosion, and make the heroes on guard and scared because he just got into UA without no one even noticing him. As we continue, Izuku right now has come back into his hideout as Alfred welcoming him, saying, welcome back, Mr. Midoriya. Do you need me to prepare your dinner? As Izuku said, yeah, please. Alfred, we are quite hungry. As Venom said, make sure to let him make us some chicken, Izuku. We want to eat some chicken. As Izuku said, yeah, and Alfred, make us some chickens. We are want to eat something, some meat. As Alfred said, right away, Mr. Midoriya. As Izuku said, and please make me a lots of coffee, and I mean a lot and a lots of coffee. As Venom asking Izuku, telling him, why do you want us to drink coffee, Izuku? As Izuku said, I just doesn't want to sleep, at least for a couple of days. As Venom said, do you not want to see that dream of yours, Izuku? As Izuku said, yeah, it's just so annoying, and every time I wake up it's just hurting me, so Alfred, just make me some strong coffee. As Alfred's after, he giving Izuku the coffee and something to eat, we cut into UA. As Izuku and other couple of, UA student trying to turn off the fire and to save everyone from inside the, UA, as Tanjiro, using his water and ice to turn the, the fire off. Todoroki using the same. Kirishima going there with his hardening quirk to save some people. And everyone, just helping each other to make sure people get safe out of there. And after that, All Might and everyone come out and, after making sure that UA is turned off from the fire, All Might said, student, what's happened there? As Tanjiro said, Venom has put some bombs in UA while we were in the sports festival. As everyone is telling All Might about how the flames taking the shape of Venom face. As All Might said, damn it, he was here, how did he get in? As Aizawa said, I don't really know, All Might. As Nezu said, well, let's see what's happened there. As, All Might, Tanjiro, and, all Class 1A, and the student, the teachers, and the firefighters and things like that come into UA, as they see the whole place destroyed except one class, which is Class 1A. As Tanjiro said, why did our class is the only one that didn't get damaged? As they open the door, they see inside the, the class, all of the, what they call it? I forgot the name. I forgot it again. All of the desks, yes, the desk, all of them are destroyed except one specifically. As Tanjiro said, why Bakugo desk is the only one that didn't get destroyed. As All Might getting closer to the desk, he find on it a letter writing on it, inside the letter is writing on it, "Next time, if you don't want UA to be turned into nothing but ash, give it to me. Give Bakugo to me." As All Might reading this, he said, "Damn it. He want Bakugo." As Baku said, "He want me? He did all of this because he want me?" As Tanjiro said, "What's wrong with you, Bakugo? Why is he always running after you? I mean, first of all, you always saying that you need to defeat him, that person, and every time that you fighted me, you just acting weird, and now Venom just blew up the school, and your desk is the only one that didn't get destroyed. What's happened between you two?" As Baku said, "Nothing happened between us, just shut up." As All Might said, "Bakugo, you have to tell them." As Baku said, "Oh, All Might," but All Might said, "You have to tell your classmates, Bakugo. You can't hide this truth anymore." As Nezuko said, "What's wrong, Bakugo? You can't tell us. We are your friends." As Bakugo, take a deep breath and start explaining about Izuku, how he was his old friend and he was bullying him, but he didn't just go all out telling them how he sometime was pushing him out of, the stairs or telling him to die or things like that. As Tanjiro said, "So you are the reason for him being this, and you are in this hero school." "I don't believe that you are doing this, Bakugo. Seriously, you did all of this to that kid. No wonder that he wants you dead." As Bakugo said, "I know, but I have to get him back. It's my fault, and I understand that, but if I just wasn't able to defeat him and get him back to his sanity, then who will do that?" All Might said, "Well, student, you can take this day off. Maybe the next week take it like a week off, because we will have to repair the school, and you can't just get into the class because it's the only one that didn't get destroyed." As Tanjiro and everyone nods, as Nezuko said, "Well, guys, how about we all go in the after 2 days from now, go into the mall and all of us having fun. How does that sound?" As Mina said, "Yeah, that actually sounds great." As Tanjiro said, "Well, to be honest, we need some rest, so I'm agreeing on this plan. Who is agreeing with us?" As everyone agreeing with that except Bakugo, as he said, "I will not gonna come with you. I need to train." As Tanjiro said, "Bakugo, I know, I can't say that I understand what you're feeling right now, but you have to rest. You can't just train every day because you want to defeat him. In the end, your body will gonna just break. So take a day off." As Bakugo is looking at All Might telling him, "Bakugo, you have to take a rest. Maybe you should listen to Tanjiro." As Bakugo said, "Whatever, I'm gonna go with you." And after that, All Might and all of the teachers start searching for Izuku. As we cut into Izuku, as he just walking in the alleyways, as in the street he see a woman with the green hair and the green eyes, they carrying a heavy package as she were about to fall. As Izuku, before she fall, he transformed into like his other self or something like that, Otaro, the kid on the screen right now. As he catch the package before its fall, as he said, "Are you okay, madam?" As the woman said, "Yeah, I'm okay, thank you, young man." As Otaro said, "No problem. Do you need help with this?" As the woman said, "No, I don't want to waste your time with me." As Otaro said, "I insist. You doesn't seem that you will be able to get this into your home safely, so please let me help you." As the Inko. Well, we all know who she is. Inko said, well, alright, can you help me, please? As Otaro carrying the package with one arm, as he just walking with the woman, as he said, so, why are you here late at night? As the woman said, well, to be honest with you, I was just getting some things to my home. As Otaro said, and what's inside this box? As the woman said, well, it's a box that filled with, and all things for my son. As Otaro said, your son? Who is he? As Nagi, I mean, Inko said, well, he's nothing, it's not important, and I don't really feel, I don't really want to talk about it, so can we just keep it for now? As Utaro said, I can understand. I can understand that you have your secrets. Well, let's go. As he's just walking with Inko, and after that, he finally got into the home. As Utaro looking at this place, as he said, is that your home? As Inko said, yeah, this is my home. As Utaro said, I feel like I saw it before. As Inko said, you did? You must be. Are you living here? As Utaro said, no, I don't think so. But where's your, door? As Inko take him into her apartment. As he gets inside, seeing the place, as he said in his mind, this place look really familiar for some weird thing. Somehow it's looking familiar. As Venom in his head saying, let's go out of here, Izuku! I'm getting hungry! As Izuku in his mind said, just give me a minute. As after that, Inko said, well, can you put it there? As Otaro put the box down, as he said, well, if that's all of it, I will have to go. As Inko said, thank you, young man, I didn't know your name. Can you tell me, please? As the kid said, well, my name is Otaro. Nice to meet you. As the woman said, Inko Midoriya. Nice to meet you, Otaro. And after that, he shake her hand and said, well, I will leave. Goodbye. And after that, Inko closed the door behind of him as Izuku de-transform. While he's just walking, he said in his mind, Venom. As Venom said, yeah, Izuku. As Izuku said, do you know who that woman was? For some weird reason, I feel like I saw her before. As Venom said, you must imagining thing, Izuku. This woman is nothing for you. She's no one. You never know her, so don't think about it too hard. As Izuku said, you must be right, because I just can't shake the feeling that I saw her before somewhere. As Venom said, we must have saw her in the street one time, Izuku, and you just couldn't forget her. But let's forget about her and go. As Izuku said, yeah, let's go. I will not sleep. As Venom said, are you sure, Izuku? You seem so tired. You didn't sleep for 3 days. As Izuku said, I doesn't need to sleep. As Venom said, you need to sleep, Izuku. As Izuku said, no, I don't need to sleep. And after that, Izuku fall on his face on the ground as Venom taking control of his body and take him back to the hideout. And after that, while Izuku is sleeping, he wake up in the black void again as he said, not again, not this stupid place again. As from behind, a sound being heard saying, a kid with the green hair and green eyes looking just like Izuku said, do you really doesn't remember her? She were our mother. Do you seriously forgot about her? As Izuku looking behind and said, great, you again. What do you want from me? As, Midoriya said, I want you to remember who you are. I want you to know what you are doing is the wrong thing. I want you to know that you are under his control, as Izuku said, yeah, this stupid pumping and talking again. I didn't sleep from 3 days because of your stupid face. So, why don't you just leave me? As he throwing explosion at Izuku or Midoriya. But Midoriya using full Kaling, dodging this and throwing, an air force or air blast or shockwave at Izuku using his fingers, sending him back. Izuku using 4 tentacles from his back, getting hold of himself and start flying again at Izuku using 2 blades to cut him off. As he said, what do you want from me? You are fake. All of this are fake. I must under some sort of hero control that is just playing with my mind. As Midoriya said, there's nothing that called a controlling, there's no one controlling you, Izuku, except him. I'm not some sort of hero that's playing with your mind. I'm just you, but you are just forgetting me. Don't you remember her? Don't you remember the time when she were always curing your injuries, when she were always taking you on her back and telling you that you will gonna always be the next #1 hero? Or maybe, do you remember the day when she were reading the names of the hero that you want to be in the future, like all Mighty Boy, Mighty Mighter, those names, don't you remember them? As Izuku eyes watching, as he said, what do you mean by this? My mother has died long time ago, and Baku is the one that killed her. As Midoriya said, did he really play with your mind that much to make you believe that Bakugo, your friend, killed your own mother? Izuku, don't you see it? He's playing with you. He doesn't see you as anything more than a host for him, than just a meat shield. As Izuku starts saying, no, you are lying. No one is controlling me. Shut up and just die! As he throwing explosion at, Midoriya. Midoriya jumping back, using Black Whip, throw it at, Izuku. But Izuku managing to cut his Black Whip as he throwing his, hand in front of him, as the same Black Whip that Midoriya were shooting out of his fingers, Izuku were able to shoot it also. As he wrapped it around Midoriya and then slam him into the ground behind of him, as he said, what the? As he hear in his mind a sound saying, well, Izuku, we finally managed to get another quirk out of One for All. Make sure to use it to defeat him. As Izuku said, this will be useful. As Midoriya said in his mind, shit, he's starting to get hold of it, the quirk. I need to get him back to his sanity before he managed to get all the quirks in One for All. As Midoriya stand up, and after that he jump at Izuku, throwing a kick at his face. Izuku dodging this, and a tentacle come out of his stomach going right at Midoriya. Midoriya dodging this into the left, but his cheek getting a little bit slash as he jumped back a little bit after sending a shockwave at Izuku. Izuku using earth manipulation, or earth control, making a wall of concrete in front of him, protecting himself. As he said, what's wrong? Is that all what you got, you fake? As Midoriya said, fake? You call me fake? Well, you are the real fake here. You are not Izuku Midoriya. You are just what left for him. I am what left from you, Izuku. Are you really don't remember her? Don't you remember your mom? As Izuku said, the only thing that I remember from my mom, that you were the nicest person in the existence. And Bakugo just took her from me! As he jumped at Midoriya and then throw an explosion at his face. Midoriya dodging this, and after that he got hold of his arm and said, got hold of his arm and then put it on his own head. As after Izuku put his arm on Midoriya's head, he started getting some flashback into a woman with the green hair and the green eyes. As once that happened, he take off his arm and getting back as he said, what was that? What was that? As Midoriya said, that was our mother Izuku. She's still alive, and today you just helped her to get her thing into the house. Even when you don't remember her, you just acting so nice with her, as nice as she were acting with you before, smiling at Izuku. As Izuku said, no, my mother is dead. That's impossible. You are just drinking me. As he hearing a sound in his head saying, don't listen to him. Wake up, wake up. As Izuku starts, feeling pain again in his hand, Midoriya just continue telling him to fight it, but after that, like always, he waking up again in a cold sweat. As right now, his head on the bed, as he opening his eyes, he didn't even get surprised as he said, again, what a weird dream. As Venom said, did that weird dream happen to you again, Izuku? As Izuku said, yeah. And so annoying and so frustrating. Let's just get out. As Alfredino meet Izuku outside of his door of his room, as giving him his breakfast, and after that Izuku transformed into Otaro and decided to go to date into the mall because he want to eat something from the mall and to have fun. As Venom said, well, give us some chocolate, Izuku. I really like chocolate. As Izuku said, alright. And after that, Izuku getting into the mall, as he got into, a chocolate shop, as he's seeing all the different kind of chocolate, as he said, oh, now this is well gonna be hard to decide. Which one do you want from it, Venom? As Venom said, all of them, Izuku, all of them. As Izuku said, god damn it. Well then, as he go into the guy, as he said, give me one of everything. As the guy surprising, do you even have enough money for that? As Otaro said, yeah, I'm sure that I can pay for one of everything here. As the guy did this, as he gave him one of everything in the shop, as Izuku just putting it inside his red, red bag on his inside his red bag, putting all the kind of chocolate, as he just eating one of them. And after that, in a jewelry shop in the mall, he see 5 guys are stealing the shop and having some hostage inside of them, inside the shop. As Venom inside his head said, well, let's go back to the hideout, Izuku, and eat all this delicious chocolate. As Izuku said, wait a minute. As Izuku, leaving his back on the ground, as he going at the jewelry shop, Class 1A were there are watching this from far, saying, Tanjiro and everyone saying, oh, alright guys, we need to plan to save everyone there. But before that happened, Nezuko said, hey, isn't that? As Tanjiro looking back, he see Utaro getting, doing some stealth behind the people there. As Tanjiro said, wait, is that Otaro? We need to stop him. But before he could do that, Otaro getting behind one of the 5 guys, as he said, if anyone tried to come any closer or call any heroes, I'm gonna blow everyone's heads here. As Otaro from behind coming to him and chop him into his neck, as the 4 others saying, what the? As Otaro jumping at the second one, the third one trying to shoot at Otaro using fire breathing. She breathed fire at the guy because he defeated Rengoku before, so he got a fire quirk. But he just breathing fire to make sure that people doesn't know which flames he's using. As breathing fire at the second guy. The third guy going at Otaro with the iron fist, because his quirk making his hand turn into iron, going to throw a punch, Utaro catching his punch and flip him above his head, and after that into the ground, as he give him a punch directly into his face, knocking him off, and rapping, using like the tape, or not the tape. He- He's just knocking the other one off, the last one, which is the one with the gun. And after that, he got a rope out of another store after buying it, wrap it around the five guys as he, starts the, clapping his hand together, but you know how to clean his hand out of the dust, as he said, well, for five of you should not do something like that. I'm trying to have fun in this, today, and you just ruining my fun. As the people there start clapping for Utaro, as he looking left and right, seeing the people clapping to him, and the owner of the shop saying to him, "Thank you for saving me, young man, saving my shop." As Utaro said, "It's nothing big, mister. I will just gonna leave." As the guy said, "Please, at least let me give you something to, make you feel a little bit better." As Otaro said, "I really doesn't want anything. I just helped you because that was the right thing." As the guy said, "Well, I see that you can become a great hero indeed, but I insist to give you at least something." As Otaro said, "No, please. I just doesn't want anything." And after that, Otaro leave, as Class 1A from in front of him seeing him, as Tanjiro said, "Tanjiro wearing this," saying, "Otaro?" As Otaro said, "Oh, Tanjiro, hey." As all Class 1A come to him, as they say, "What was that?" As Otaro said, "What do you mean, what was that?" As Tanjiro said, "You were such a great fighter there. We saw what you tried to do. We were, making a plan to make sure that the guys there doesn't hurt anyone, but you have already defeated them." As Utaro said, "It wasn't something too great. I just throw a couple of punches." As Nezuko come from Tanjiro left side, as she looking like this, saying, "No, you were such a great there, and how you using your fire breathing, and how you chop that guy behind his neck." As Otaro said, "Hey, I'm happy that you liked it, but it's not a big deal." As Tanjiro said, "Well, you're sure are a good fighter, but how about you joining us?" As Otaro said, "What do you mean joining you?" As Tanjiro said, "Well, today we're supposed, to get a day off of UA, like a 1 week, because Venom has blew up our school." As Otaro said, "Oh, I heard that on your news. I'm really sad for you." As Tanjiro said, "Don't be sad, but how about we all hang out, all of us eating some food and things like that." As Otaro said, "Well, I would really like that. Okay." As after that, Otaro and all Class 1A just going together, having fun and everything, as Nezuko and Otaro at the same time, they said, "Guys, please wait for us. I want to go into the flower shop." As Nezuko and Otaro looking at each other, as Nezuko said, "You want to go to the flower shop?" As Otaro said, "Well, to be honest, that Cremelia flower that you talked about last day actually start to interest me a little bit, so I want to know more about flowers, and maybe get something into my house, because to be honest, my house is dead, as it doesn't have a lots of plants inside of it." As Nezuko said, "Oh, I can help you with that, to choose a good flowers to your house." As Otaro said, "Well, really, I would really appreciate it." As Nezuko said, "Yep, of course I will gonna help you. Do you want to do that?" As Otaro said, "Well, okay." As Nezuko said, "Tanjiro, can I go to the flower shop?" As Tanjiro said, "All right, Nezuko." And after that, Nezuko and Otaro go to the flower shop. As Otaro said, "Well, what kind of flowers are here? As you know, Nezuko said, "This is my favorite place to buy flowers. Here is a lot of flowers here, like the sunflower, the lullaby, the camellia, my favorite, and a lot other." As she's just telling him about the flowers. As Utaro looking at a couple of flowers, he said, "What is this?" As he see like a black flower. As you know, um, Nezuko said, "Oh, this is a blank. I don't really. Just let's say it's just a black flower." As she said, "Well, I really doesn't know what is this, but it's kind of special because she's the only black flower in the world. I mean, not in the world. This is not the last one, but it's just the only kind of flowers that with a black color." As Otaro said, interesting." As he looking at the guy and said, "Mister, how much this will gonna cost?" As the guy saying such a big number. As Nezuko said, "All of that money? This is not." As before she continued, Otaro said, "Deal." And Nezuko looking back as he said, "What?" As Otaro said, "Yeah, I doesn't think that is too high price for such a flower." As Nezuko said, "Are you sure?" I mean, as Otaro has already given the money into the guy and got one of the flowers, as he got one of them. As he said, "Well, take it." As Nezuko said, "What?" As Otaro said, "Take it. I saw how you were interested in it. Even since it's a black flower, you seem to being interested in it because there is only one type of it in the world. So you can have it." As Nezuko blushes at this and said, alright." And after that, she take the flower and smell it. She said, "Well, maybe it's color black, but she have a very nice smell in it." As after that, she just coughs a little bit from the smell of the flower. As Otaro, after hearing her coughing, he said, "How you have a very cute cough, you know, how achoo," or something like that. He starts laughing and smiling a little bit on her. As Nezuko starts laughing with him, and after that, they just continue talking and get out of the flower shop. As they meet with everyone sitting on the table waiting for their food. As Tanjiro said, "Oh, Nezuko, hi Otaro." As Otaro said, "Oh, hi Tanjiro." As Nezuko said, "Hey, big brother." As Tanjiro said, "What is this?" As she said, "This is a black flower. Do you like it?" As Tanjiro said, "Well, I thought your favorite kind is camellia." As Nezuko said, "Well, it was a gift from Utaro, so I just took it." As Tanjiro looking at Utaro saying it was a gift from him. As Nezuko said, "Yep." As Utaro said, "Yeah, I saw how she were, looking at the flowers, so interested in it, so I just bought it a one for her." As Tanjiro looking weird at him, as he getting closer to him and said, "Are you trying what I think you are trying to do?" As Utaro said, looking at him with his, and what they call it, fe, I, I, I forgot the name. God damn it. Yeah, just looking like he's said, "What do you talk about? I doesn't understand what do you mean by trying what I think you're trying to do." As Tanjiro said, "Don't act with me, stupid Utaro. I know exactly what you are trying to do here. I wasn't sure the first moment that I saw it, but but right now I'm now 100% sure that you are just liking my sister." As Utaro said, "What? Are you sure?" As Tanjiro said, taking him a little bit away, as he said, "Yeah, I'm sure of it. You liking it. You liking her, is that right?" As Otaro said, "We are just friends, just like me and you." As Tanjiro said, "Don't play dumb at me. I know that look in your face. Maybe you have a dead expression on your face, but I know exactly that you are keeping your feelings inside your heart. As Otaro said, I'm sure that you are just imagining things, Tanjiro. As Tanjiro said, well, I will not gonna stop in your way. As long as you doesn't hurt my sister, I will not gonna stop in your way. As Otaro said, alright. And after that, he just come back with everyone, and after they act, to get some food, Utaro eating a lots of meat, as everyone looking at him. Kirishima said, "Whoa, man, you are eating a lot, and I mean a lot of food." As Otaro said, "Well, my quirk take a lot, and I mean a lot of stamina, so I need to eat a lot of food, especially meat, because it's giving me more energy." As Tanjiro said, "Well, that's understandable." And after that, everyone get out of there, as Tanjiro getting a call of All Might, as he said, "Oh yeah, All Might, and can I get someone with me?" As All Might on the other side agreed to that, as he said, "Great," and telling everyone that he will have to leave them because All Might calling him. And after that, he telling Otaro to come with him because All Might want to meet him. Otaro said, "Sure enough, I doesn't have anything better to do." And after that, Tanjiro and Otaro going to UA, as All Might meet with them, as he said, "Ah, young Tanjiro, and you must be the friend of Tanjiro that he talked about. He told me about what you did in the mall, so you are acting so heroic, huh?" As Otaro said, "Yeah, it's not a big deal, it's just a couple of goons." As All Might said, "He told me how you wanted to join UA, but some problems happened with you in that time that you couldn't come into the entrance exam, is that right?" As Otaro said, "Yeah, that's true." As All Might said, "Well, how about I give you a chance to get into UA?" As Otaro said, "Really? A chance to get into UA?" As All Might said, "Well, tomorrow you will have to do an exam for Mr. Aizawa. He will gonna see what kind of potential do you have, and if you deserve to get into class 1A or maybe B. He will gonna decide that. Do you want to get into this exam?" As Tanjiro looking at him saying, "You can do it, Otaro. I'm sure that you can do it. I saw what you did there and you were so great." As Otaro said, "Well, it will be a great honor to be in one of the classes in UA, so I agree on that." As he said, "Great then. Well, can you leave, because I want to talk with Tanjiro in a privacy." As Otaro said, "Well, okay, Tanjiro, I will gonna go back to my house right now." As Tanjiro said, "Well, alright, Otaro, you can leave." And after that, Otaro leave, as All Might left with, Tanjiro. As Tanjiro asking All Might, telling him, "Well, All Might, what is it?" As All Might telling him, "Young Tanjiro, I want to ask from you something to I want to ask from you a question." As he start telling him about One for All and all the how it's been been passed down from generation to generation out, and telling him how he's having such a great heroic nature to him, and how he's always throwing himself forward, not scared of what's will gonna happen to him and everything. As Tanjiro said, "Well, what do you want exactly?" As All Might said, "Well, I want to take my quirk One for All." As Tanjiro eyes whiting, and this is gonna leave it off, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, tell me what do you think about this part, and what do you think will gonna happen in the next part. Well, we have nothing more to say than we were here.